Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. This is going to be a general message for Cancer in September 2021. What's going on, Cancers? How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. All right, friends, no announcements, anything you want, it's already in the description box. Let's get into your reading, all right? And didn't I say that? For some reason, I can't remember like 5 seconds ago. Hope you guys are doing well, wherever you are in the world. Be safe, be happy, be secure, all that good stuff, okay? So, first card out for you, Cancers, is, oh my, the Empress, the Sun, and then the Queen of Cups. Hey now. All right, so Empress, secondary major for Libra and Taurus. Sun, secondary for Leo. Queen of Cups, water sign energy. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces could be dealing with any of those signs or none at all. Take it all with a grain of salt, okay? What a rebirth, what a renewal, what a refresh, reset on your energy, it feels like. This could be you, could be someone else, but it's your reading, so I'm going to address it as if it's happening to you, Cancer. But I get this sense of like being in your feminine strength, in your feminine power, in your feminine, excuse me. Just like owning that aspect of yourself, owning receptivity, owning creation, owning the spaces and places that you occupy, the time that you have. If you want to spend your time and give to others, if you want to spend your time and selfishly dote on yourself and treat yourself well, you're at liberty to choose these things. You're at liberty to be empowered, or you have the ability to be empowered at this time, to be incredibly empowered. It's a little bit of a bright shiningness that other people are possibly shocked by, unsure of, but I feel like it's this incredible nurturing of self. And, you know, how you nurture yourself, how you take care of yourself, how you prioritize yourself, how you experience self-love is totally personal. You know, there's this, I think, this general idea that, oh, if we're coming into our feminine power, whether we're male or female, biologically, it doesn't matter. We're all masculine and feminine, spiritually speaking. We all have both of those polarities within us. So if you're a man and you're experiencing this, don't think, oh, I'm not a man, I'm not a feminine. Yes, you are. Anyway, so no matter how you do it, it's personal to you, right? But I think a lot of people feel like, oh, in order to show self-love, you have to like practice yoga and meditate every day and do all this other kind of stuff. Like, presuming what you're doing doesn't destroy you and is not something that deters from your life, but actually is an additive to your life, is something that helps you function better, is something that brings you happiness, assuming you're not a psychopath or a sociopath, because those two types of people, they're whatever. I have my own theories. Anyway, and they're not for, you know, public display at this time. But basically what I'm saying is, if you want to sleep for 12 hours a day and that makes you feel good in this moment, do that shit. If you want to volunteer your free time to charity and help those who are in need and that makes you feel good, do it. If for some reason eating at McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, outside of, you know, doing a Super Size Me Part 2 or whatever the hell it would be, if that makes you happy for this moment, do that. This combination of cards is showing me a person who is focused on self, focused on peace, serenity, bringing joy out of their lives, where maybe with the Queen of Cups energy being out of the three, the most darkly colored card here, might not have always been so easy. You know, some of you may have gone through something that kind of forced you to do this work, forced you into this place of, if nobody's gonna take care of me, or after I went through hell dealing with that situation, that person, this relationship, that work situation, whatever, I need some me time. It's like the antidote to whatever pained you is to go within and really, really value your feminine side. really value the divine feminine and the traits of femininity that exist within you, right? And femininity isn't all soft and, cuddly and, bubbles and rainbows and all that shit all the time. No, feminine energy can be quite destructive. That's why I said make sure whatever you're doing doesn't take away from your life. It isn't a negative strike on you, against you in some type of way. So if you, for an example, were somebody who had issues with spending, as much as spending might make you happy, is that really going to serve you in the long run by, throwing your money away on useless trinkets or clothes or food or whatever it is, right? Because the Empress is here, Queen of Cups is here, right? And the Sun in this deck has a very feminine symbol on it, but it itself is not a card of femininity. But because of what's pictured there, there's like three very, how can I say it? They're like goddesses, even though, again, the Sun is not innately in tarot. It is not about goddess or anything like that. But these three together, it feels that way. But anyway, my point was the Empress and the Queen of Cups, although the Queen of Cups can be about indulgence sometimes. So that's why I'm like, tread lightly with this, Cancer. But the Empress especially would not overspend in any way that would risk her foundation, would risk her stability, would risk whatever reliable resources she has in her life. So again, if you want to pamper yourself, like I said, for the moment, sure. But if you want to spend the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months of your life just buying on impulse all the time, and maybe you have a bigger goal of like saving up to buy a car, saving up for a trip, putting money away so that you can go back to college, putting away money so that your kids can go to school, whatever, it does not behoove you to overspend for an extended period of time. But I feel this trio of cards mostly has a good amount of wisdom in it, Cancer. I'm mostly about the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups, because it is a darker card, just tonally with the three that are out here. And it's a little bit more, as I said, self-indulgent or impulsive sometimes. So there is but I think, again, some of you have a reason coming out of this. There's a big reason that comes from the Queen of Cups. Like, very few people could blame you for wanting to take care of yourself, wanting to prioritize yourself, wanting to find your zen, your center, your peace, your serenity, wanting to find happiness again, love again, after what this element of you has been through, or this facet of you, this part of yourself that, had possibly for some of you like a messy divorce, or for others of you just had several years of dealing with family drama maybe, or a short time. It doesn't matter how long it was, yes. And there's just something where you've been through enough that warrants this little, I shouldn't even say little, it's very significant that you do this at this time, or whenever you've done this. Some of you, this has already happened. For others of you, this would be upcoming. You're all on different timelines that are pertinent and important to your personal path, okay? I love this because, and it's like, thank you, coming back to this idea of like, what did I use? I used the word goddess. It's like, this is attractive energy. It has nothing to do with your physicality. It has nothing to do with how you show up and look to other people, that type of, carnal attraction or sexual attraction, or, the ideas of like physical beauty. It has nothing to do with that. But there is an attractive pull, magnetism. That word has come out a lot. You're the fourth sign I've done, and I think I've mentioned it in at least 2 of the other readings. Magnetism is here. You will have people, circumstances, good fortune, lucky fortune, just like people wishing you well and you don't even know them, like strangers on the street. Have a good day. And you're like, thank you. I don't know why you're doing that. We're 20 feet away, but somebody's like yelling at you, I love you, I have a good day, something like that. It's like this energy is, as is the way, brings things into it. Receiving. Yes? I like this. This is good. And this is so interesting because I just did your neighbor Gemini's reading, and they had a good first 3 cards, and I was just like, I don't know. something here doesn't feel great beyond what we're seeing. For the most part, Cancer, this feels really good. This feels pretty good. So wherever you're, how can I say this? And maybe that's what this is. Like self-love for some of you is also coming through as like this act of healing, right? So even though maybe to you consciously or to other people, it seems like, oh, you're being impulsive or you're being kind of selfish at this time, taking, time off of work when you don't need to take time off of work. Oh, are you going on vacation? No, I'm not. I'm going to stay my ass in the house and just sit home and watch Netflix and enjoy myself. And people are like, wow, what a waste of time. And you're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Because this is like, it's like knowing what you need to do to express love to yourself. And that act alone of enjoying your time off, going out and seeing other people, or staying in and acting like a recluse, whichever way you want to do it, that facilitates, that helps you heal something that has been, again, difficult. So this is self-love, self-healing, and it's empowered because I think you, even if you don't say it out loud or speak it or think of it in these terms, this is very transformative, this energy. And yeah, it's like, and it's like, not that you know the outcome, it's just, this is what you need to do right now in order to make yourself feel better. Basically, it's the perfect medicine. It's the perfect medicine at this time. Okay, so let's, I don't think we need to know what the Queen of Cups has been through because I think you've lived it. I'm curious. I'm not a Cancer, but I'm curious. I'm like, well, what the hell happened to you guys? But I'm not going to go for that because that's just my personal curiosity. So, the Sun, I think, is just sort of the catalyst here. Or, like, she's kind of got her hands in a mudra, right? Like the Om, right? She's in a mudra. So I think it's the physical act of doing something, and you know what you're doing or not doing or what you want to do and things like this. So let's just build on this message. I don't think we need to clarify anything. Thank you. Okay. That was my way of working out. Am I clarifying or am I building? So we're going to build on the message. Let's see what else happens here, okay? So give me more messages here for Cancer. Give me more on this story for Cancer. What else is happening in September 2021? What else is going on for Cancer in September 2021? Three altogether. Let's see how that's going to lay down on the board. Oh. I pulled this from here. Okay. All right. All right. Oh. See? King of Cups falls underneath the Queen of Cups. Okay, so Judgment, secondary for Aries, as well as Scorpio, Six of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. Okay, so remember I said for some of you, and it was kind of an aside, it wasn't like prominent, it's not for everybody, but for some of you there was a messy divorce, or some type of messy relationship. Doesn't have to be a divorce, doesn't have to be a marriage, but there was a connection between people of equal parts. Interesting I say that, equal parts. What does that mean? You and this person, you got along very well, complementary to each other. It doesn't have to be romantically, again, it can be friends, professional, whatever. But there was something where you saw eye to eye, or you're very, like, cut from the same cloth. Like, you really had camaraderie with this person. You really had a partnership of significance. Yes, this person was, possibly will always be one of the greatest people you've ever known. Even if things went sideways. Even if things went, the way of the dodo. Yes? I feel there is overall some type of respect for the individual or what you guys had together. Now, that could be very future oriented for some of you. Meaning you're not at that place yet. you're not necessarily at peace with it yet. But that's what you're seeking with the Sun in the middle and the Six of Pentacles. You're seeking balance. I mean, and also look at the very similar ways that these two figures on this card are posed. You're seeking that type of tranquility. You want to feel at home or without some type of distress, without any type of drama, right? So again, for some of you, that's a little while away or a little far off at this time, but eventually you'll get there. You know, you'll make peace with it. And that's kind of the divine, that's both, you know, for both sides of the polarity, both the masculine and the feminine, and then the human that encompasses both of those polarities, is to make peace with it. The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. Make peace with it. Understand and come to this point of acceptance. And not acceptance as in, oh, I accept that you treated me poorly and I don't feel angry about it, or I don't feel betrayed or saddened by it. No, you feel those things, but you also understand and come to a certain realization that it plays into the overall story. You know? I don't know what your story is. I don't know the nuances of it or anything like that. But there's some, I suppose in many ways we could think of it like how we think of like certain pieces of fiction. You know, a lot of our favorite characters, you know, collectively, a lot of favorite characters are the villains. Why? They're so bad, they're so evil, they're so terrible to other people, but they become fan favorites. Like Darth Vader. He's a villain. He's a villain. Even before the prequels came out in the early 2000s and we got the, you know, the pre-story of Anakin Skywalker, in the first trilogy, he was choking people out. He was doing the bidding of the Emperor. He cut off his own son's hand. Sorry if you never saw it. Like, but people were like, oh, Darth Vader is my favorite Star Wars character. Why? You know, and I'm not here to give you that answer, but that's kind of what I'm sensing here. Not to say you're in partnership with Darth Vader, but I hope you get what I mean. So this King of Cups character is like the other half of your Oreo, is how they're making me say this. Like, there's something about this person being significant. They were in your life for a reason, might still be there, but with this Judgment hanging out over here underneath the Empress, I think in several of your cases, this connection, how it was, maybe not that you know the person, that you're connected with them, or that you would ever speak to them and interact with them again, but like the cream that keeps the Oreo pieces together, that's gone. The two little cookie halves, they still exist. You can still eat it. You can still dunk it in the milk if you want to. But the cream that keeps them stuck together, that's gone. That's what I mean. So there's an appreciation for them being the other half of the cookie. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my partner through this. Thank you for sharing the sweet little center that we had. But how do... that's so funny. How do a lot of people eat their Oreos? They untwist it, they lick the cream out. And some of them just toss the cookie away. Others of them, like I said, you could dunk the cookie in whatever. But you get what I mean? Like the sticking element isn't here anymore. And that's kind of interesting. Because this idea of like an Oreo. God, my guides are so weird, but they speak to me in my favorite ways. So when you have the Oreo and it's got the cream, right? If suddenly, so the two cookie halves had sentience, and it's like, well, what is my purpose now? My purpose was to be on one side of the cookie, and he or she on the other side of the cookie, and then we held the cream together, or we were stuck together because of the cream. Now that the cream is gone, what is my function in life? What do I do? Why am I here? Existential shit is happening here. All through the metaphor of a goddamn cookie. But I hope you get what I mean. Yeah? So, the feminine side of you is really rattled by that. Really rattled by this feeling of, oh, I don't know what to do. What's my purpose? Feminine, mother energies are here all across the top line. Well, especially the Empress and the Queen. The Sun, you know, associated with Leo, it has a masculine, and look at that at the bottom, Two of Cups. But the feminine side here, I think, is pretty rattled. on how to perform, how to show up in the world in totally in power, totally not flexing, but like with assurance, with confidence. Because this relationship or what existed, so again, this idea of the cream between the two cookies, if this was a marriage, the cream could be the kids. The cream could be the house. The cream could be the family business. The cream could be the love. Maybe the love is gone. How do I function now that the love is no longer here to keep, to wedge me and my other cookie together or keep us held together, right? So there's this uncertainty of, well, what happens next? What happens now? This is developing. This is an internal workspace, an internal workshop that you're going to go through. Some of you might actually attend a workshop now that I see that, because Sun can also be very action oriented. And then with the Six of Pentacles, I get this idea of like spending money, being around equal people, or yeah, I'm like getting this idea of like exchange. So for some of you, maybe it's therapy, maybe it's a workshop, yes, maybe it's self-help, who knows? So some type of action is here to get you to this better place. Judgment, I didn't really touch too much on it. I just feel that Judgment is recalling. I feel a recalling here for the Empress energy. Recalling your divinity. In both parts, maybe. Maybe that would help for those who are like, I don't really recognize the divine feminine within me. Think of also the divine masculine inside of you, and how to maybe get those two sides of yourself to work together. If you're like, well, you know, if you're a Cancer male and you're like, oh, I don't really resonate with the feminine part of myself, pull out your masculine. You know, they're two peas in the same pot. They're your best teammates, these two sides of yourself. Something like that, okay? All right, so let's get a potential outcome, and then we're going to wrap this up. I'm trying not to go long, but Cancer, the Oreos really took me there. All right, let's see. Potential outcome here for Cancer, please. Potential outcome for Cancer, September 2021. It was meant to come out, I guess. Two of Cups. I think this, again, it's like for yourself, and possibly for some of you, the other person, you know, the other half of your Oreo cookie. And they're not a sponsor, but, you know, if you are suddenly craving them, I apologize. But so there is some recognition about soul connection, soul ties that you have with another person, or the internal soul connection you have with yourself between your two divine halves. Thank you. So again, if you're not resonating with the feminine part of yourself right now, ask the masculine to check in. Hey, masculine side that I feel more connected with, better connected with, what's going on with the feminine side of me? Where is, quote unquote, she? Where is she? Again, you know, I'm just using these words. But so I don't know if that would help you, but there's like someone here who's like, the feminine side is like, I don't want to say running scared, but just like it's not readily available. It's possibly shell-shocked because of what has transpired in the relationship over here, the soul connection of whatever type, yes. And, you know, I get the sense of like in a dark room, in a dark corner, shaken, frightened, skittish. So your divine masculine side, something has to, well, it doesn't have to, but just go knock on that door. Divine feminine part inside of me, what's wrong? Where are you? How are you feeling? If not to pull out, just you know, take a temperature check. How are you? How are you feeling? I'm pissed. I'm mad as hell. Okay. Be mad as hell. That's fine. Embrace that. The Two of Cups, I think, is like recalibration, balance, interconnected, right? And it's such an interesting thing to think about, to be an interconnected single person. That speaks in two ways, metaphorically and literally. Again, some of you are coming away from a situation where you were connected with another person, friendship, family, lover, whichever, and now that they're gone, or now that you two have gone your separate ways, or whatever held you two together, Now that that's gone, you don't know how to be a connected single person. You don't know how to be balanced by yourself, within yourself. So that's the name of the game, okay? Cancer, that's your reading. If you like this reading, if it resonated, hit the like button, leave a comment. I would love to read that. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so before. If you're interested in getting at me for a personal reading, the information is down below in the description box. Cancer, I thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Bye.